is the chair of the African American Caucus for the state of California. In addition to that, he travels up and down the states helping different cities with issues with African American problems, voting, as well as helping them with their voter registration, encouraging candidates to run for office, helping them realize that they even have the skill, because a lot of times people do not know this firsthand. In addition to that, he is involved in a lot of civil rights activities in the Antelope Valley, and he is very familiar with this California Voters' Right Act, and it was just recently in his area, and you can take it away.
Well, good evening, everyone. I kind of like to see the people I'm talking to. Good evening, everyone. One more time. Good evening, everyone. And I drove all this way. That's the best you guys can do. I was on the freeway for 3 hours this morning on 210, and you guys are just, good evening, everyone. There we go. All right. As Minerva said, I am the California Democratic Party statewide chairman for the African American Caucus. I'm serving in my third term as the chairman, and Minerva is one of my 21 regional directors, and I want to thank her for having this event tonight. If the press is in the room, I want to make one bit of housekeeping. I am one of the special assistants to the California Assembly Speaker, John A. Perez, working out of the LA Psalms office, which is the services for the members in all the Assembly. I have the opportunity to work with all of the African American legislators. I'm the direct liaison to the Speaker for all 9 African American elected officials here in the state of California, and I'm also the liaison to the California Legislative Black Caucus. On the other side of that, I'm a long-term resident of the Antelope Valley. I've been up here almost 30 years. For some of you that are in this room that might have known a few years ago, when George Runner stepped down, I actually ran against Sharon Runner for Senate. And I want to thank this city in particular and the newspaper for the endorsement and the great votes that I got from this area. It was an 8-week race. They kind of planned it that way, that no one could get into that office, and they were going to slide it from husband to wife. And we end up making them spend about $700,000 in order to keep that seat. So you need to give yourselves a hand for the good work that you did. And speaking of the Voter Rights Act that's now going on in the city of Palmdale, there are a lot of things, and I think the young man's name was Lou. Lou, are you running for sheriff?
Yes, sir.
We'll have to have a talk when we get through with this. As you know, in the Antelope Valley, the Department of Justice has just ruled and confirmed what was an internal report from the Sheriff's Department, the Merritt Bob report, that said that basically African Americans and Latinos were being over-arrested, is the kind way to put it, in the Antelope Valley, specifically in the cities of Palmdale and Lancaster. The report came from the Sheriff's Department. It was an internal report, and we had the opportunity to share that with the Justice Department, and most recently the Justice Department affirmed what that report said. We are constantly working with the Sheriff's Department in all communities in order to make sure that all citizens feel like they're empowered, that no citizen feels like they're a target, and that the sheriff is doing exactly as they promised, is serving all communities and all people in all those communities. In the city of Palmdale, as well as the city of Lancaster, we've had at-large elections. As I was talking to some of my friends earlier, many years ago when I moved up there, when we had our April elections and these off-year elections, it was a novelty. People would turn out, but the essence was basically 5,000 votes could get you any office in Palmdale or Lancaster. From that, they were able to form a block vote, and since that time when I moved up there almost 30 years ago, that block vote has been a constant factor in who gets elected, because all seats are elected at large no matter where you are in the city of Palmdale or Lancaster. Those of you that know the area, you know that Palmdale presently is upward of 200,000 people, as well as Lancaster has about 200,000 people, and the people of color or the minorities, as has been put in the paper, would constitute a majority of the population with them combined. And even with that, we've only been able to elect one Latino in the city of Palmdale in its history. We've only been able to elect one African American in the city of Lancaster since its inception. And it was time to move forward to try to change that and empower the people. Disenfranchisement was something that was common. We know that people didn't get out and vote. When you have 200,000 people and 5,000 people show up, we know that that's not the community that's giving their voice. But at this point, after 30 years, people were pretty tired of trying. There was nothing that we could do in the party, nothing that we could do to motivate people to run for office. And no matter how much money we spent, again, the black vote was our Achilles heel. So I'm here today to share with you what's going on in the Lancaster-Palmdale area. I'm here to share the information that you might need in order to empower the voters here in Santa Clarita. I'm proud to be a part of change. As we celebrate the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington, I think that this meeting is appropriate to have because back in 1963, it was that speech and that movement that started a movement across America. And I think that here today that this is part of the new movement to make sure that we empower all of Santa Clarita, all of the Santa Clarita Valley to be a part of the voting and election process and put the best people in office no matter what they look like. Thank you.